Buenos dias. Welcome to the Beast Den. We're reheating coffee and then we'll sit down. Coffee's been reheated. Let's go sit down. Welcome back to the Beast Den. My name is Sloan the Beast. I'm a chaos coach for highly ambitious, highly driven, disruptor women. So I've been hosting this series and it's a really great series for those of you that feel this tremendous weight to constantly be working and not resting. Now, if you're not new to my channel, you know that this is a series that I have been running for about by the time this comes out, the last 9 days. It's a 2-week series all about resting as a workaholic. It's running live in my YouTube shorts. I post a video a day sharing with you exactly how it is I am maintaining productive in my business, still reaching my business goals while taking this intentional time to rest. I'm going to give you some tips on exactly how it is that you can do the same thing so that we are still growing, we're still hitting our goals, we're still doing the things that we have to do, but also really taking care of our mental wellness, our physical wellness, really making sure that we're tapping into the clarity that's needed at an energetic level so that we can continue showing up to the best of our abilities. Okay, so let's talk about who you are and why this would be the best video for you to watch. What do you guys think? Should we switch it up? Maybe do a blue? I think I like the blue better. Yeah? Blue is like more calming. Let's do that. We're gonna chill. All right, awesome. So we're cozy. Who is this video for? I really believe that if you're watching this video, you are probably your family agitator. You're probably the one that is the most confrontational. You're probably the one that is on a mission to break generational trauma and generational curses and poverty in your family. You're the person in your family that is really on the road to show them what the hell is possible for them if they just get out of their own head. Now, this is also really important for you as you think about like your future. How is that going to manifest itself if you do not handle these situations, right? All these past situations. What happens if you don't handle them right now? How is that going to affect your family? How is that going to affect your marriage? And so you have this deep sense of responsibility, but also like a really heavy burden to do the things that need to be done to achieve that level of breakthrough in your business, in your family, in your life, right? I understand why it is that you hustle the way that you hustle. Like, I totally get it. I definitely feel in a lot of ways that I am that person for my family as well. The problem comes in when we're so in our business, we are so encompassed and enthralled in our business that we don't even notice the effects that it has on different pockets and compartments of our life. Some of the cost that this comes at is your mental health. This thought of, I can't stop. I physically, literally cannot stop because of XYZ that we already talked about, right? So that it's that mental health component of, I have to get this done. I told this person I turn it in at this time. I have to be a person of my word. I got to do this. The second thing is the cost that it has on your peace. And this is a big one because I think about this like all the time. Again, by the time this video goes live, I'm going on day 9 of my rest period. And one of the thoughts that I really struggled with, especially as I was leading up to this, was, holy crap, what about the opportunities that I'm going to miss? Like, what's the opportunity cost of me taking these steps to rest, to experience just a season of being hyper present and slowing down? What if I had done this thing and that thing was going to be, you know, the piece of content that was going to cause that breakthrough, or you know, that one launch day, the day that I would have talked about that one thing would have been the day that I would have had the right customer that would have catapulted me into like this next level of success. I think about that, the opportunity cost of resting, and that messes with your peace, your internal peace, where you're like, oh my gosh, not doing this thing is costing me XYZ, without realizing that actually doing this thing, right? Not taking the time to listen to your body, not taking the time to listen to what you are physically manifesting, all of the signs, is costing you so much more. Physical desgasto, that's just like physical wear down of your body. This is why you experience things like brain fog. It's why you experience chronic exhaustion. I joke around, I love coffee. I'm a coffee snob for sure, but when I notice that all I'm relying on is coffee to be able to function, that's a red flag, dude. That's not normal. You should not be dependent on any sort of substance to be able to continue operating in your everyday life. Dependency on any sort of substance like caffeine, heightened irritability. These are all physical signs that you need to rest. Another one is your friends. If you're not new on my channel, you know that CEO days are Sunday afternoons. We take the time, we do admin tasks, and we really just get ourselves prepared for work. Over time, it's evolved into something that I do with my business friends. And yesterday when I clocked in, it was like, I want to say 9-10 o'clock, and I was just doing light work. As I'm letting my friends know, like, this is what I'm working on, these are my intentions for tonight, they were like, what the hell, are you not resting? And I was like, yo, this is light work. You need to take like 3 naps, like turn the laptop off. And it was at that moment that I realized the people around us really are privy to our habits, sometimes more than we are. And you need to listen to them. Like, it's not, sometimes they'll say it as a joke, but it's not really a joke. They're letting me know, bro, you're doing the most. If you have people in your circle that are like, hey, you're doing the most right now, that's another sign you gotta take it back a notch. So the first thing that you could do this is by lightening your workload. For my clients, I pushed any coaching calls I had to the end of the month because, again, I'm trying to do the bare minimum. I only accepted projects that I knew were going to feed me creatively. I wanted projects that fed my soul, not projects that really required me to, I know this is gonna sound some type of way, but as a coach, you hold a lot of space for people. And right now, I'm only holding space for myself, if you know what I mean. So I push back coaching calls so that I can work on them in a time and place where I fully am going to be able to give them 100% and not 10% of myself. So that is my recommendation to you, is to lighten your workload by being more selective about who it is that you're working with, how it is that you're working with, right? What's the capacity and what's that bandwidth look like, so that you're not stuck working on projects that are going to take more of your mental overload than what you actually can do. You want to only work on projects that are going to feed you, that aren't going to cause any sort of comparisonitis, that aren't going to cause you any sort of strain. So when you're looking at your overall workload, are there people that maybe you could push towards another time? Are there projects that you can say, that you can table and say, maybe not now, or I'll only work on this side of the project, delegate the rest out? Think about what your options are when it comes to that. Let's move on to our second tip. The next thing you're gonna do is play Hookey on one of your work days. Just hear me out before you come for me. I am someone that only works 4 days a week. I don't necessarily work on Mondays. I don't take any coaching calls or meetings on Mondays, and I definitely don't work on Fridays because those days are strictly separated for my children. What I do or have done is I only work 3 days a week. If this is an option for you, if you can eliminate one of the days per week that you work, or even a half a day, and then utilize that time to just go take yourself out on a date, maybe go out with your kids, go out with your husband, chill, do absolutely nothing. Maybe you want to take half of the morning off. Another way that you could stay productive is just by reducing the amount of hours that you're actually working. Now, if you are someone can you work all kinds of crazy hours, here's a hack for you. When I notice that I haven't really done a good job of allocating specific times to work, I work until my laptop turns off. After that, I do not recharge it, or while I'm recharging it, I go, I chill, and then it doesn't get turned on until the next day. That could be a good option for you as well. Again, because I know you're a workaholic, and if it were up to you, you would be working until 3 in the morning. We're not doing that while we're resting. The next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna delegate more than you're used to. I know, don't come for me. I know you're like, I don't trust anybody with my work. Okay, I get it. You're a control freak. It's totally fine. I understand. But while you're resting, whether that's 3 days, 2 weeks like me, a full month, you're going to have to delegate those tasks if you want to stay on top of your work progress. Maybe you can hire somebody that's project-based, so you could hire somebody super part-time just for project-based service, and then the rest of your team you can just tackle on a couple of other things, and you can let them know, hey, I'm actually trying to take a step back. I'm feeling really burnt out. I feel like my body needs to rest. Are you guys okay with taking on these tasks? And if not, maybe you can hire someone to take on the tasks that they're not willing to. That is just in your business. Now, in your home life, you are able to do this as well. Maybe you can hire a housekeeper for the week. Maybe for that week, all you're doing is ordering takeout or food delivery, or that week you're hiring a personal chef to come to your house and cook. Whatever the case is, that week you are not not doing any of that, right? Because those are the things that feel like energy sucks to you. Maybe that week you're hiring a laundry service because, again, it takes too much of your time, it takes too much of your energy, and it's not a task that you exactly love to do. So for that week, you could delegate those tasks off, not even have to worry about it, and they're still getting done. My next tip for you is to go ahead and change your environment. And when you change your environment, it absolutely ignites something inside you that says, we don't have to worry about our everyday tasks. We don't have to worry about our everyday responsibilities. We're being pampered. We're being catered to. There's something about a fluffy hotel bed that absolutely screams being pampered. There's just something about a good hotel space. So if you are not able to take a trip, then book a hotel for a night or two and work out of there. It's not about how do I make more time. It's about how do you properly allocate the time that you already have. And the way to do that is to get creative with the things that you already have at your disposal. If you are not able to travel, just book a staycation, just a night or two. It doesn't have to be a full week thing. It could be just an afternoon where you're hanging out by the pool. Or right now it's kind of cold, so maybe you're just hanging out by their cafe. Maybe you're just staying into the hotel. Doesn't really matter, but change your environment. The reason why I decided to kick off this series is because it holds me accountable to making the time, to carving out the time, to doing absolutely nothing and just being present and just being creative and just being a person that is not business obsessed like we are. And I found that that really has helped me in staying consistent. We've slept in and I haven't even felt bad about it. I've been selective about who I give access to me. I feel like taking a step back and getting the clarity that I have had over the last couple of days has actually opened up doors to opportunities that I really was craving and wanting and just did not make the space for. Once I created that space, they kind of just influxed. My recommendation to you is if you have the ability to share this with a friend that you know is going to hold you accountable, definitely do that. You can join my series, okay? You can join the email list actually, where I am keeping them updated on exactly what it is I'm doing during this rest time, not just on, my YouTube shorts, but you could actually join my email list where I give even more in depth about the reason behind my decisions, resources that I'm using, and et cetera, et cetera. So you can do that via the link down below. If you are a workaholic, this isn't something that you want to do just because it's the beginning of the year or something that you want to do because you're approaching burnout. I think that this is something that we have to, and I say we because, again, I'm a workaholic. I think it's something that we have to intentionally mark into our calendars, like maybe once a quarter of, I need to take a week to decompress. We have our weekly resets and that's fine, but a weekly reset is totally different than intentionally carved out rest periods. And I think that that's something that I want to implement more this year is taking a week of actually this week I'm not taking clients. Actually this week I'm not taking any meetings. Actually this week I'm literally just being hyper present in my own body and learning how to further regulate my nervous system so that everything doesn't feel like it's a fire I need to put out in my business. And if that's something that you want to join me on, definitely join the email newsletter so we could do this together. Let me know in the comments down below if you are going to be taking intentional rest time as a workaholic and what you think that's going to look like. Be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel, and if you enjoyed this video, I highly recommend that you check out the actual playlist. I will leave it right over here, and thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Sweet nightmares, Peace fam.